Hey guys, what's going on? Insidious Swede back again here for another YouTube video, and today I want to talk about the 5 manga that I thought were better than their anime counterpart. Now, this is just kind of a fun video idea. It's actually one that I was planning to make a little while ago and then kind of forgot about the concept, and then today something reminded me of it, and I thought it'd be kind of just a fun thing to do, to talk about the differences between the manga and the anime and why I prefer the manga over the anime, which, by the way, is not always the case. I know my channel is predominantly manga, but I do watch a decent amount of anime and do prefer a lot of anime to their manga counterpart, but today we're doing the opposite. We're talking about the manga that are better than their anime counterpart. And also, before I get into the video, I feel like I need to stress that this is an opinion. This is not fact. Of course it's not fact, because every kind of video like this where it has a list or it ranks things that are better than others, it's going to be subjective. So this is my opinion. If you prefer the anime, great. Don't let me stop you from enjoying it. But this is simply something that I thought would be kind of fun based off of my tastes and interests. And also, if you guys know of a manga that you enjoy more than their anime counterpart, please let me know down below. But let's get into it. The first one that I want to talk about is a pretty easy one for me. That is the Bleach manga. Now, I actually just got this Bleach DVD series for the first time not too long ago, and I never watched it before. As you can see here, this covers up to episode 27, and actually, as of recording this, this is still all I've seen of the Bleach anime, because I do plan to, support the industry, get the physical copies, and only watch it that way. But the manga, to me, for all of its flaws, and I just made a video talking about Bleach not too long ago, talking about what I thought was good about it, and then what I thought about, kind of where it let me down as a fan. But, especially considering that the anime I've watched so far only covers the beginning part, the best portions of Bleach were like volumes 1 to 25. So really everything from here, it was fantastic, a lot of fun, and the anime so far just hasn't quite been that good. Now, I'm assuming hopefully it gets better, but I've just kind of been surprised with how little I've, really been in love with it, because I was expecting going in to really enjoy it, but it just didn't quite have that same magic that the manga did. So this is my first one. I have preferred the Bleach manga much more than its anime counterpart. All right. Next series I want to talk about is one of my personal favorites in terms of the manga series. That is Barakeman, and that's backwards. Barakeman, actually, considering I have a lot of new subscribers and it's been a while since I've talked about Barakeman, let me just do kind of a quick rundown. Essentially, this manga is a comedy slice-of-life series based around these two characters, Seishu Honda, a calligrapher who kind of got disgraced and had to kind of leave where he was living to go out to a small island village where he meets Naru and a bunch of other really interesting characters. And it's such a fun idea, because with so many manga series, I mean, even behind here you have Blade of the Immortal, Pluto, with such intense kind of, stories and relationships and so much depth and detail and layers. Sometimes it's kind of stressful to read manga. You have to keep up with everything. There's a lot of emotion you're investing into these characters. But with a series like Barakeman, it's just one of those series that's a lot of fun to read. You're gonna laugh out loud a bunch of times. The artwork gets progressively better. So here it's pretty good. But when you get later on into volumes, 7, 8, 9, 10, it is phenomenal. And so far, it's just been such a fun series to read. So if you're looking for a manga that's kind of a little bit different than a lot of other titles, but very similar to other manga like Yotsuba and stuff like that, I would recommend checking out Barakeman. It truly is one of my favorite series. And the anime now, talking about the anime. Now, this is a series that I was, again, just kind of like the Bleach anime I was expecting to love, because I'm a huge fan and supporter of the manga, so of course I had to get the anime and check it out. And this is a complete anime series. I'm not entirely sure how far it covers into the manga because I never actually got around to finishing it, but the voice acting was weird. The animation, yes, was beautiful, but it really kind of did its own artistic thing, which a lot of times can be good. I felt that in the Barakamon anime it kind of let me down, and overall I did not enjoy it nearly as much as the manga. Not to say that it was bad. Again, this is not a video saying that the manga is good and the anime is bad, but I simply just didn't enjoy it quite as much. So yeah, again guys, if you haven't checked out Barakamon in any format, but especially the manga, I would highly recommend doing so. Alright, the next one up is a pretty easy one for me. That is Dragon Ball. Now, I don't actually own the original Dragon Ball anime, but I do have DBZ Kai right here, so I guess that kind of a comparison. But again, we're not talking about Dragon Ball as a whole, we're simply talking about the original Dragon Ball storyline. Now, this manga was one of the first titles that completely sucked me in. The moment I started reading Dragon Ball, I believe I only had, I think, this first omnibus here, one of these Vizbigs, and I didn't really know what to expect because I heard so many good things about it, so I decided to just get the one Vizbig. And after finishing this volume, I could not get enough of it. I absolutely loved this first omnibus, and it was truly one of the most fun, entertaining, exciting shonen battle mangas I had ever read up until that point. And so as soon as I finished this, I had to hop online, and I literally read all of the original Dragon Ball storyline in one weekend, a Saturday and Sunday. I blew through it. And the anime, again, not DBZ, but the original Dragon Ball anime, I have since watched completely. And yeah, it was amazing. I loved it. It was so fun, but the manga is just something else entirely. Akira Toriyama's artwork is beautiful. There's just little things that I felt like the manga did so much better. Now, if we're talking about the DBZ manga compared to the DBZ Kai anime, I did prefer the Kai anime to the DBZ manga. But again, this is personal preference, and again, we're not talking about the anime we like better, simply the manga we like better. So here I have to say the original Dragon Ball storyline was far and away superior to an already amazing Dragon Ball anime. So yep, that is my third choice for this video. Number 4, we have, and this might be an unpopular opinion, we have Death Note. The Death Note anime was one that I took a while to watch. Simply because I was worried that I might like it more than the manga, and the manga is Death Note is the reason why I read manga and watch anime today, so I didn't really want to have that happen. I was worried that all my nostalgia for the Death Note manga will be teared away because of my newfound love for the anime, but that didn't happen. Surprisingly, by the end of the Death Note anime, I still could say with confidence that I preferred the manga. Now again, this is all subjective, and my opinion is usually curved towards manga simply because I prefer it as the medium. You know, anime is something that I do appreciate, but I always usually side with the source material, which is always, or in most cases, the manga. And I was surprised because I finished the anime and I was like, wow, this was great, but I still love the manga more, which I guess goes to show how much I love the Death Note manga to this day, even though it's been about 4 or 5 years since I read it for the first time. But yeah, I did not prefer, surprisingly, the Death Note anime to the manga, which is something I know a lot of you out there do. And the last choice, and this was a big one for me, another unpopular opinion, kind of the reason why I saved it for last, but that is Attack on Titan. Now, both are amazing, and this is easily the closest out of the two, but I don't know what to say, because the artwork in Attack on Titan isn't necessarily stellar, but it is unique, and I have to give it that. You know, actually in Volume 1 it is pretty bad. Come on, let's be honest. It's not great. But just like Barakamon, it gets progressively better And there was something special about reading the manga for the first time. When, you know, Attack on Titan initially came out in English, there was this huge buzz surrounding it. Kodansha was pushing out a volume every single month. I wish more companies did that with other manga titles today, but unfortunately, it's usually, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5 months in between volumes, which is a bit long, but I just remember that whole time period being really exciting for the manga industry, and I remember loving the manga. And then when I got into the anime, I don't know, it was a bit more brutal than the manga was. There was so much more detail. And again, I felt like, just like with other anime series, it kind of turned it into its own thing. Yes, it was being very loyal to the storyline, but in terms of all of the artistic kind of style choices it made, it definitely separated itself quite a lot. And you could see, in my opinion, it tells you right here from the same director as Death Note, you could definitely feel it had a very similar tone, very, very dark, very heavy, and I don't know. I just found myself saying, yeah, this is a brilliant series, but if I had to pick between the two, I'd still prefer to read the manga. But that is my 5 manga that I prefer more than its anime counterpart. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Yeah, just kind of a fun video idea to toss around with you guys. What manga do you like more than their anime counterpart? I'm sure there are more that I forgot and that I could go on about, but don't have the time for today. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm Insidious Swede. Take care.